you, Deb? Can you hear me all right? Hi, Bobby. Hi, Henu. How are you? I hope everyone can hear me all right. Someone give me feedback that you can hear me. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, I got on just a little bit early because I wanted to be sure everything was going to upload. Okay, hey, babe. Hey, Makeup Queenie. Oh, good. Yes. Okay. I just wanted to be sure that everybody was going to be, let me adjust this. Everybody was going to be able to see, everybody was going to be able to hear, everything was going to work okay. Okay, let's see. Star, Sun, Moon. Hey, darling, how are you? Okay. All right. So I've got, I brought up a bunch of skincare products from the bathroom with me. Hi, Christine. How are you? Just in case, no matter what we wanted to cover today, I thought that we could go over retinol or antioxidants. Hey, Becca. Hi, Mary. How are you? Or we could go over nighttime skincare routine. I know people, I'm not filming from the bathtub, no. I just brought everything up from the bathtub. Hey, Steph. Yeah, I didn't know exactly what we wanted to cover. I'm going to try to do this on Saturdays. I know that people have a lot of, I knew a Starla. She was a really good friend of mine back from Mobile. We used to romp around together. Just, I know a lot of people have some questions on, hey, Robin, how to layer serums, what's the best order, in which order to put them on for the best efficacy of the product. I know some people have had a lot of different questions about that. And, you know, what products, you know, should you be using at our age? What's going to give you the most bang for the buck? And like I said, you know, I don't spend a lot of money. I love Timeless skincare, which is a very affordable brand, really overall. I love the Ordinary products. And there's, you know, quite a few brands that I do love. Some products from the INkey List. So it just, I pick and choose from the INkey List, though. Not all of them have I found to be very effective. So, yeah. So does anyone have any questions that they'd like to cover in particular? From skincare, is there anything in particular that you're wanting to see as far as skincare goes? Or do you want me to lead off? Okay, how to use retinol, okay, and layering serums. Okay, all right, so, okay, retinol and serums, retinol and serums, retinol and serums. Okay, all right, so let's start off with the easy one, which is how to layer serums. So there's two different ways that I like to think about layering a serum is first, what's the most important thing that you're putting on your face? And first, in the morning is going to be that antioxidant product that you're choosing to use. And I would love to know the best skincare to use in the mornings before makeup. Okay. All right. So we're going to hit that too, Steph. So for me in the morning is going to be my antioxidant. At night, it's going to be my retinol. And it depends upon what exactly what your retinol is going to be packed in. Because is it going to be packed in a squalene oil, that sort of thing. So we'll get to that. But in the morning, what type of an antioxidant are you using? And most people, so I've got 3 antioxidants here that I'm going to show you, because not everybody can use the gold standard of antioxidants is the L-ascorbic acid. And that is your vitamin C. That is the gold standard of vitamin C's. Every time that you think about an antioxidant serum, you're thinking about about your L-ascorbic acid form of vitamin C. But L-ascorbic acid form of, hey Connie, of vitamin C, the L-ascorbic acid form of that can be irritating to a lot of people's skin, and they cannot use it. And some people have to use the, I believe it's THD, tetrahexyldecyl. I know I'm butchering it. That's not the way you say it. But anytime that you see in a product, anything that says ascorb in it, that is going to be some form of vitamin C. And the long word, let me see if I can look this up. The long word of it, let's see, THD. Of course, it's not going to come up for me right now, but this is a form of vitamin C that is more gentle to the skin. There's tons and tons. There's glucosylscorbol all over the Ordinary has many different forms of vitamin C's. You just, whenever you look at your vitamin C solutions, if you find ascorb, that's going to be your active vitamin C derivative, if you will. But the gold standard is L-ascorbic acid. And so it's the synthetic form of the ascorbic acid from the fruits and vegetables that we eat. And so this is, let's see, Bobby says, I'm doing more at night since it's no longer while my body regenerates. Does most of my makeup doesn't sit well with a bunch of skincare during the day. Anyone else have that issue? And that's fine to do it at night as well. I personally don't have any issues with putting my my type of retinol that I use doesn't have an issue with the vitamin C that I use, because I use a gram-active retinol and it doesn't have any problems with vitamin C. So if you're talking about using your vitamin C at night, Bobby, with a gram-active retinol, I don't have any issues. It doesn't make my skin harsher. It doesn't seem to dry my skin out anymore. I have no issues with using, I use my gram-active retinol with my vitamin C all the time. I have no issues with that. But anyway, I love 2 different vitamin C's. I love the May-Love vitamin C, the Glow Maker is what it's called. And I love the Timeless vitamin C plus E plus ferulic. And I don't have that one here to show you, but let me show you this one up close. And so there's a reason why, hey Amanda, hey, there is a reason why, oh, and that's a good point, Queenie, that's a good point. I have dry, dehydrated skin. But whether you have oily skin, dry skin, or normal skin, you still need an antioxidant, a vitamin C or some type of an antioxidant. So, because what an antioxidant does is it has a free proton on the outside of its valence shell that will donate itself to a free radical, which is a negative electron valence, and they will connect together. And that way, this negative electron that's floating around in your body can't go out and damage your DNA. That's what a free radical is. A free radical is basically a split oxygen and an O2 that's become an O negative. And what it does is it goes out and it bangs into everything, and it will bang into your DNA and damage that DNA. And it can cause cancer cells. It can cause protein mishaps and malformations. And so you want to render those free radicals not free anymore. You want to pair them up with a positive proton. Does that make sense? Or am I just like way like crazied up and nobody cares? Anyway, you want that's what an antioxidant does, and that's what this vitamin C serum does. The Kypris Beauty that Queenie talks about loving, that we got in our BoxyCharm. This is a really good antioxidant that's not a vitamin C product. Another great antioxidant is resveratrol that you can get from the Ordinary. It's the resveratrol plus ferulic acid. And this one I use at night. So hopefully I'm putting that up there where you can see it. Okay, so those are the 3 antioxidants that I really recommend. And I love, love, love. I use this one every morning, either this one or the Timeless. Now, a lot of people talk about making their own vitamin C. And the Ordinary sells a vitamin C powder. Many, many companies sell a vitamin C powder. And there is a recipe online where you make vitamin C plus water, a vitamin C powder plus water plus glycerin. And it's, touted as it's pennies a day to do that. And I don't believe in it. And there's a reason why I don't believe in it. Now, the reason why I don't believe in it is because L-ascorbic acid vitamin C is one of 2 products for anti-aging that's actually been proven that it can promote collagen synthesis. So what does vitamin C do? It lightens your skin. So it helps with hyperpigmentation. It helps with filling in. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. It helps with hyperpigmentation. It helps to brighten the skin, lighten the skin, and the most important thing that it does is it helps with collagen synthesis and elastin synthesis. So it has the ability, if it's formulated correctly, to actually penetrate to the deepest layers of the dermis where the inside of the cell is at, and it can actually cause that collagen synthesis that we lose by half when we get older to regenerate itself. And that is the thing that I want. That's what I want most from my vitamin C serum. But if it can't get deep enough into the skin, it can't do that job. So that's the important thing. And the reason why we have a problem getting it deep enough into the skin is because it is a water-soluble molecule, and our skin is made up of a fatty acid bilayer. It's made up of a phospholipid, which means fat, bilayer. So we have to get it into that deep layer of the skin. So it has to usually be formulated. If you see the gold standard, which is SkinCeuticals, that had the patent on the L-ascorbic acid. It's $160 something a bottle. People still buy it, whereas you can buy this for $27 a bottle. You can buy Timeless for $26 a bottle. It is the same formula. It's vitamin C plus E plus ferulic acid. It's not vitamin C plus water plus glycerin. That's not the gold standard. It's not what you make in your kitchen at your sink. It's vitamin C plus E plus ferulic acid. That's the gold standard. That's what's $168 a bottle by SkinCeuticals, not glycerin and water and some L-ascorbic acid powder. So why would I want to make it at my sink whenever that is one of only 2 proven ingredients that can actually help with the aging process? So that's my soapbox. Very passionate about it. So what do I think about La Mer skincare? I think it's overpriced. I have La Mer skincare that I don't use. I hope I didn't offend you. Welcome, Fatini Armstrong. I'm glad you're here. And if you love La Mer, then I think La Mer has some good. I think La Mer has some good qualities, and it's really creamy and all that good stuff. But I do think it's overpriced. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend you. But it's very nice to meet you. But I do think that I do think that it's a lot of money. I think it's overpriced, and I can't afford it. I'm not going to afford it. If I had the money, I wouldn't spend it on La Mer skincare. But I do go to my girlfriend that works at Nordstrom, and whenever they have a sale, I tell her, go get me some of that from the back, those samples. And she does. Because she runs that counter and the Dior counter, and I buy the quads from Dior from her. So, okay. But yeah, I don't, yeah. My husband, though, one time he bought me a La Mer pack because the lady talked him into it at Nordstrom's. I couldn't believe it, because John don't spend money. He's pretty cheap. And I was like, what? Are you kidding? Because I didn't know what La Mer was. I got mad at him. So anyway, so yes, I think that pretty much I would much rather have, if I was going to buy an expensive product line, I would rather have Biossance is about the most expensive line that I would do, or Tatcha. That's my 2 high ends that I really like. I bought the Amore Pacific one time. That's the Essence. I didn't see a difference. That's one of my product fails, that I just don't get the hype. I don't get the hype. So I know John shopped. It was a miracle. It's because I was like throwing a fit because I didn't get a present for Valentine's Day. So I know. So anyway, but yes, so vitamin C I'm very passionate about, and those are the, and I'm passionate about them because they work, and I'm passionate about vitamin C or vitamin C. If you can use it, I highly, strongly suggest that you do, and that's the very first thing that I put on. So Maylove, the reason why I love Maylove is because when you buy it from the company, you see how clear it comes in the dropper? It's completely white. I always have my Maylove come completely white, clear, and it it's just a beautiful product. It's never tainted. It's never yellow. It's never, if it looks like urine, then it's oxidizing, and you don't want to use it whenever it's really, really dark and dingy and yellow, because it's already oxidized. So it doesn't have the strongest potential. This is whenever it's at its strongest potential, and I've had this for a little while now. I'm down to right here on it. The way that I store it, I don't store it in a fridge. I don't have one, but the minute that I open it, I keep it in its box. So it's always, as dark as possible. So I always keep it in the box. And I use 2 dropperfuls a day. I use a dropperful on my face and a dropperful on my neck and décolleté. And, so I probably go through a bottle of this a month, but I love it. That's what I do. But, there are other antioxidants as well, but that's the first thing that I put on. Then the order of serums that you put on goes from the most important, which is my vitamin C. Then I go from the lightest serum to the darkest, lightest as in weight, molecular weight, to the heaviest. So a clear, like from there, I'm going to put on my hyaluronic acid serum, which this one isn't my favorite, but I'm using it up. My favorite is the Ordinary, but this is the Good Molecules hyaluronic acid. And see how clear it is? And it's just a liquidy, watery serum. So I use that, and I pat all of that in. And so it just goes from that serum to, a niacinamide. And that, again, is a clear white serum, but it's a little bit more cloudy than my hyaluronic acid. And then from there, I'm going to use my either Buffet, which is my peptide serum, or my Super Peptide Serum from the Good Molecules. Okay, so is this all making sense? Lighter to darker and heavier. And then at the end, I'm going to use my, bye Queenie, my, say, oil type serums. Like one of the last things that I put on is my Biossance Squalene Vitamin C and Rose Oil, because it's an oil. Yes. Glam Glow Super Serum, Glam Glow Bright Eyes, Laneige Eye Sleeping Mask, Nights, Clinique Moisture Surge. Yes, and I do have a toner. I didn't show you that. So like the makeup removing oil that I'm on right now is my Bobbi Brown. I swapped back to my Bobbi Brown. I do have a toner as well. I have my Ordinary Glycolic Acid Toning Solution right now. Let's see, Moisture Surge, Glossier Moisturizer, Super Goop Unseen Sunscreen. Yeah, so the Super Goop Unseen Sunscreen's great. The Moisture Surge Moisturizer's great. Your Laneige Eye Sleeping Mask, Nights Only. Okay, so I would have to look at that, Bobby, and see if you need a like a peptide. Like if you don't have a peptide, that's what I'm not seeing in there, is that you don't have a peptide or an antioxidant. So, so that's what, those are my main thing, is that you have an antioxidant, you have a niacinamide, because that's going to close your pores. And you have a peptide and a hydrator, which would be your hyaluronic acid, or you can use the one that we were talking about, the polyglutamic acid from the INkey List. Polyglutamic acid or your hyaluronic acid is going to be your hydrator. So it's really easy. If you have a hydrator, you have your antioxidant, a hydrator, a pore tightener, which will be your niacinamide, and a peptide. And that pretty much takes care of it. And then you end up with your moisturizer on top of that. Okay, now for retinols, with retinols, you have to decide. Basically, there's going to be 3 types. You're going to have either, hey Stacy, are you wanting to use so tretinoin is Retin A. Retin A is just the trade name of tretinoin. This is always so confusing because there's so many different names for a retin type product, right? I mean, does anybody else feel that way? I mean, it's like, what? First of all, you can't even get to the how do I use it part because you don't even know what to call it part. It's like, what is the name? So tretinoin was trade named Retin A. So are you going to use a Retin A product, or are you going to use adapalene, which is your differin product at the drugstore, you know, because you can get it over the counter. So, you know, are you going to get a prescription for Retin A, tretinoin? Same thing. Are you going to go to get the adapalene at the drugstore, which is very, very cost effective and will do the same thing? And this is the other ingredient that is proven in a clinical trial with human beings that this works. It will stimulate collagen production and elastin production inside the cell for aging benefits. So 2 things, vitamin C and Retin A or a Retin A product. Or, and the downside from the Retin A products is, you know, it's an acne treatment and it dries your skin out. So if you have oily skin, go for it. It's going to, you know, acne prone skin, go for it. You're going to get a bang for your buck in 2 different ways, right? Because you're going to get the drying effect or the oil control, the acne control, plus the anti-aging benefit, right? So by all means, that would be a great way to go. But, you know, it does dry your skin out. So let's see. Which SPF do you recommend? I love Korean SPF. I love it. So I love Make Prim or Make P Rim, P:*Rim SPF off of Amazon. I love Elta MD. I am liking the new pharmacy. I'm testing a new product right now that I like pretty good, but you know, but I love the Make Prim, and I really lean more towards the physical veil type sunscreens. So back to the Retin A, for me with dry skin, hey Sonia, for me with dry skin, I really I've tried to do the Retin A thing, and it really makes me very, very dry and flaky. And I'm a picker. Like if there's something to pick on my face, on my skin, anywhere on my body, you know, I will pick it off. And so that doesn't work for me. um, I'll pick a hole in myself. So I cannot deal with anything flaking on my skin because I'm just like this nervous, crazy cat woman, and I can't do it. And so, yeah, move on, Jeannie. Don't tell them anything about that. So anyway, so flaky skin doesn't work for me. So I use what is called a Gram Active Retinol. Let me be sure. Well, this one says a retinoid. Retinoid. And the one that I have used, so this one is by The Ordinary. And the percentage really screws people up on this one because this one says 5%. And then some places it'll say a 0.5% ester of all trans retinoic acid. So that kind of makes people wonder, is it 5% or 0.5%? And I'm really not sure how to answer that. But this one right here is my fave of all faves on the cheap side. This is the one that I love that is very, very cheap. This is the active ingredient in Luna. It's the same percentage. It's the same active ingredient in the Sunday Riley Luna Nighttime Sleeping Oil that I pay $105 for. And I'm not going to tell you that I don't love Luna. I love Luna. I love Luna. I have went through, I cannot tell you how many bottles of Luna. There's some, and this is good. This is my second bottle. I'm down to here on this one. In all honesty, do I miss Luna? I do. I miss Luna. I miss the blue color of Luna. I miss the smell of Luna. I don't miss the skin. I can't see that my skincare is regressing. I don't see anything. I don't notice that I'm missing anything skincare benefit wise from leaving Luna and going to this. I just miss the psychological. It's completely psychological. I miss the blue tansy of Luna. The blue tansy oil in Luna, the fact that you get to rub it in and the blue turns away and you know that it's sunk into your skin. Something about that psychological, something about it. I miss my Luna, but I don't miss the price difference. So I'm getting over missing my Luna. Does that make sense? But yes, I love the smell of the blue tansy in the Luna. And that's what I miss. So if you are addicted to Luna, I definitely can relate. But this has a beautiful feel because it's packed. The Luna's packed in an oil, and this is packed in an oil. It's in a squalene oil. It goes on so nice, and it just, it leaves that oily sheen on your face. And I wear this. I can put on this retinol in the daytime. I can put it on at night. I can mix it with my vitamin C, my L-ascorbic acid. I don't get any dry patches. I can put it on twice a day. I can put it on once a day. It doesn't matter. Hi, Lois. This is just a beautiful product, and it doesn't seem to cause me any irritation. So I do like this. This I purchased at Sephora. It is for sale at Ulta as well. It could be out of stock, and you can check the Decium website as well. And for brown spots, and I am out right now, but and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for it to come back in. But the best thing on the market, brown spots, is tranexamic acid. It had it's either EX or AX, tranexamic acid. Does that make sense? I'll leave it in the description box below, but it is the dark spot. It's by Good Molecules. And let me see what they're calling it. And the reason why tranexamic acid is so good is it has a there's an inhibitor. It's actually an inhibitor. You can take it orally. It can be prescribed to you. It's a melasma corrector, and it has been proven in I have an article from Dermatology Today on tranexamic acid, where a study was done on oral tranexamic acid taken orally or topically, that you can use this, and it's a melasma where it busts up the pathway between the melanocytes and the keratinocytes. So the keratinocytes are the skin cells that float all the way up to the surface. No, it's not expensive. Yes, Bridget. Yes, you're right. The INkey List does have one. The INkey List has tranexamic acid. And hey, guys, my good friend Bridget is in here in the chat today with Keeping It Simple with Bridget. And she has a fabulous channel. She and I are gonna, one day, we're gonna get our act together and we're gonna do a collab. But if you do not know her, and Jen Jackson's in here as well, but if you do not know Bridget, she is one of our best Black creators on the platform on YouTube. And so if you do not know Bridget, run over to her channel and give her some love, because she just has the most thought-provoking lives that you're ever going to be in. And she's just she's just one of my BFFs. I love me some Bridget. And Bridget, I have just been so I've just been so happy to see all the shout outs from about your channel over on Kelsey Brianna J's, you know, kind of advertising. And so, yeah, and I saw Pauline was over there on the one with Neil's the other day. So I didn't know if you were over there on that or not, but anyway, I saw Pauline over there. Anyway, so yeah, so what tranexamic acid does is it busts up the pathway where the melanocytes actually become keratinocytes. And so that is really it has a pathway inhibitor in it, and that is a really, really good one. And yes, you can get it straight up. It comes in a bottle that looks like this, but it says tranexamic acid on it. And then the Good Molecules has one in a dropper form bottle that says oh goodness, it says and it doesn't say tranexamic acid, it says discoloration correcting serum is what it's called, discoloration correcting serum. But that's the main ingredient, and it's a hero ingredient, so it's way high on the top of the list of ingredients. So it is a really good product as well. So either one of those products is going to do what you want it to do as far as discoloration. I'm trying out the Ren cream, night cream, that's supposed to help with discoloration. I picked it up because I heard Elle Leary say that, you know, it was really, really good. But under the list of ingredients, maybe I'm just not smart enough to read the list of ingredients well. Maybe it's like a hidden list of ingredients. You know how sometimes it's not a simple word like tranexamic acid. It's more like polyglutamic. Well, that's an easy one, but something like tetrapeptide 7, instead of just maybe it's something that's hidden in this big like name that I can't read, that it's hidden in a different format. But I don't see the I don't see it. I don't see an ingredient that's going to do what I'm wanting it to do in the list of ingredients. So I'm not holding out a lot of hope for it. We'll see. I'll have to let you guys know about it. But the retinoids is going to be whether or not you want that straight up retin A, you want a retinol, or you want a gram-active retinoid. And with the retinol products, when you put them on, they're less abrasive, but they have to go through a chain reaction inside your skin to become in a format where they can bind to the retin receptors in the body. Gram-actives, they're an ester, but they can bind directly to those receptors. So I sort of leave that class out, and I'm either going to go straight to the retin A or the gram-actives because I want that binding ability. Hey, Maureen, how are you? And so, hey, Jennifer. Hey, Sonia, if I hadn't already said hey to everybody. But that's kind of the way that I do it. I just kind of think about the binding ability when it gets in the body. Is that kind of helping? I don't know if it is or not, but what about you, Deb? Are you still in here? And is that kind of answering your question about retinols? And you can go to... there is a company, what is the company that you can go to and you tell them your, is it Curology? Is that the one where you can go to and you tell them your skin issues and they'll customize a product that has all of your stuff together? And they have a dermatologist on board so they can prescribe your retin A with other, maybe they'll put a peptide in it for you, all of this stuff. But, I like the gram-actives right now, but I also use a lot of facial oils along with my retinol products to keep my skin hydrated. That's kind of my deal. Like right now, I'm really into the squalane vitamin C rose oil. And the one thing that we do know that's been documented is that the rose hip seed oil, and that's the rose hip RR, not the rose hip RC rose hip. There's two types of rose hip seed oil. There's a Rosa canina, maybe is the way it's said. And then there's a Rosa rubinosa. And the Rosa rubinosa, so I just think about RR is exponentially better. There's two R's in it. That's just the way I remember it. I don't know. Maybe it'll help for you. I don't know, but this is the way I remember it. That is the one that has been documented in all the literature to actually have the tretinoin effects of it, if that makes any sense. So whenever I'm buying my rosehip seed oil, I actually look at what's the active ingredient. And the Good Molecules rosehip seed oil has the RR variation of rosehip seed oil. So I love their rosehip seed oil from Good Molecules better than the Ordinary's rosehip seed oil, because the Ordinary's rosehip seed oil is RC rosehip seed oil. So that's why I choose what I choose, one over the, I have certain things from the Ordinary that I really, really love, have certain things from Good Molecules that I really, really love. Some of it is that one carries this and one carries that, but where they carry both, like they both have a rosehip seed oil, well, I love the Good Molecules because it's the RR variety. So, that's, and so I know now it may be that the RC has just as much of an effect with tretinoin as RR, but it's not known. It's not documented. I don't know it. I know that RR has it. So I want the RR. I want everything I can get. Especially, because I use all of these oils so much because my skin's so dry. If I didn't put on an oil slick every morning, I put on so much oil every single day that, my hair's so dry. If I didn't, put oil in my hair would break off. Oh, yes. Let's see. Christine. Where is my Christine? Can someone answer my question about the Ordinary retinol and squalene? Is this? Yes. So, well, let's see. Okay. So Christine, I use the Ordinary retinol. I use the Grand Active in squalene. So if you want the retinol, just the plain retinol, it's a fine product, but you may have more drying issues with it. It may make you flaky. That's what I'm trying to say. It might make you a little bit more flaky than, say, the Grand Active. So that's going to depend on if your skin's oily or not. The other thing that a regular retinol will have to do, hey Vonda, is it has to have that conversion inside of your skin. If it's the regular retinol, it has to be converted into an active. There has to be a enzymatic conversion that goes on inside your body once it gets into your skin to make it into a form that can bind with the receptor on your skin, on your cells of your skin. So it just takes a little bit longer to happen, but it is a fine product, yes. If you can find the Grand Active retinoid product, that's the one that I like a little better than the regular retinol, but there's nothing wrong with the retinol. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the retinol. It will work fine, and if you have non-super dry skin, it'll be fine. Okay. Stacy thinks washing her face is skincare. Some days I do too, Stacy. Yeah. What oils do you recommend for hair? I also have extremely dry hair. Okay, so I've used them all. I've used the Moroccan, the Moroccan oil that sometimes we'll get in our boxes. I've used that on my hair and I love it. I've used the Olaplex, the very last step 7 or 8, whatever that oil is the one I've got right now, and I love it. I've used just straight up Josie Moran's argan oil on my hair and just, rub it on my hands and use that. Love that. Let's see. Oh my goodness, 50s moment. What's not argan oil? What's the other one that you use? Marula, is that the one? Marula oil that's comes in Drunk Elephant's, is it marula oil that Drunk Elephant does? I think it's marula. Whatever the one that you get from Drunk Elephant. You can use jojoba. And then, of course, for my whole body, I use coconut oil. So, but I don't tend to use coconut oil in my hair. I just use that on my whole body. But yeah, you could probably use jojoba, but I think it's the marula, because marula is the one, if you have, it's argan and marula, right, that we compare. And one has lipoic acid, and one has the other. I'll have to do a, yeah, that's the one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's the marula and the argan oil that I use on my hair, one or the other. It just depends on what I got laying on my counter. We'll have to do a whole segment on marula oil versus argan oil. Which one do you want? Because one's better for dry skin and one's better for oily skin. So we'll have to do one of those. Yeah, yeah. Drunk Elephant has the marula. And they'll usually give you that if you buy the little Sakura baby facial, which, like, why would you? Why would you buy that whenever you could have this one? If you're looking for a good chemical exfoliator, then get the this one is the Ordinary's AHA 30% BHA. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's BHA 2%. So alpha. You can always remember that an alpha hydroxy, A is for above, and alpha hydroxy kind of cleans off everything above the surface, and a beta hydroxy cleans everything out below the surface. So that's a good way to remember that. So with those type of pills, you've got something that's taken off all of the skin cells above the surface, and then you've got that little bit of beta hydroxy acid that's cleaning out your pores down beneath the surface. So yeah, so that's what, is a good way to remember your alpha hydroxy acids and your beta hydroxy acids. So your betas are going to be your lactic. If you've got like bigger pores and you need to get a deep clean down in your pores, you're going to grab your beta, which is going to be your lactic acid. Then your glycolic, that's your alpha hydroxy acid. That's going to be, something that's going to just be sloughing off those dead skin cells on the top. So, yeah. So this is like straight up. I never buy the Sakura, whatever it is, the Drunk Elephant facial anymore. I just stick with this thing and go through it like it's water. But I only use it once a week, but every single week I use that Saturday mornings. So let's see. Lois, is never too late to learn about skincare. Yeah, Bridget, isn't it so good? Like, I love that. I love that one. I just don't, I don't even know how we lived before the Ordinary came along. Like, what did we do? I really don't know. The only thing that I have ever found from the Ordinary that I don't like is the argireline, or that and it's not that I don't like it, I just don't think it works, is the argireline solution, or however you say that, the one that's supposed to act as a neurotransmitter and keep your nerves from, it's supposed to be like Botox. And I didn't find that it did anything like that at all. I didn't I didn't find that it worked. I mean, it did, I'm sure, don't do what Botox does at all. So, excuse me, but you know, the 11s are still there. So, what do you suggest for large pores? Niacinamide, definitely. Niacinamide. Hi, Lana. Hi, sweetheart. Definitely niacinamide. Niacinamide is going to go in, and it works basically three different ways. It's going to go in and it just works like a little vacuum cleaner. It's going to suck all of the dirt out of the pores. And so because it's going to do that, over time, the pores, you know, it's just like whenever you let the air out of a balloon and it just right on the floor. So it's going to clean out the pores, and it's going to make them smaller when it does that. It's going to brighten your skin too, because you know how whenever something's kind of dingy from the dirt being there and then you bleach it, how white it becomes. So that's kind of what niacinamide does, is because it's cleaning out those pores. It really brightens that skin up. So you get a lot of bang for your buck out of niacinamide, and you don't have to worry about what you're mixing it with. It's just a beautiful molecule. It just goes with everything. It really, really works so good. I need Botox. yeah. I need cosmetic Botox right now. Because my medical Botox she didn't really do a good job. Niacinamide toner or serum, either one. I have the Good Molecules. I forgot to bring it up here. I have the Good Molecules niacinamide toner. And because I swap my toners off, I always use my niacinamide serum, which is this one. And it doesn't matter to me which one I have, whether I have the Ordinary right now, but the Ordinary is exactly the same as the Good Molecules. I think the Good Molecules niacinamide is 10 cents cheaper than the Ordinary. I could care less which one I've got. It just depends on what website I'm on. And quite honestly, I'm on Beautylish almost as much as I am Sephora these days. That is so bad to say. Oh, that is so terrible. But I love to swap off my toners because I like to keep this Glycolic Toner. Now, I love this toner. This Glycolic Toner, 7%. I love it. So I don't use my niacinamide toner every day. So I'm pretty addicted to this one. They just got this one back in no, I just got this in. I had ran out of this one. I just got this one back in. But, you know, like I don't use an acid product every day. Like, you know, I have the Honeymoon from pharmacy that I'll use. And, okay, Lois, I'll put one down in the description box on this video. Hey, Samantha. Hey, Jess. Hey, BFFs up in the house. I got 2 BFFs up in the house. I got Bridget and Jess, and well, I just got tons of BFFs. Oh, everybody's up here in here. And yeah, I've got this this toner for whenever I don't want to use like my pharmacy Honeymoon Glow, that stuff. I've got that. I do have the lactic acid. I've got that. So I have hey, Samantha. So I've got that that product. I've got quite a bit of pills, acid products, but I don't use them every day. I use them like every other day so that I don't get too dry. So just turn that stripper ad off, Jess. I bet she can't hear me. Somebody tell Jess to click through that stripper ad. Don't nobody want to see her. Don't nobody care what Angie's using. We all know it already. So I get so sick of seeing, this is how I work it. That makes my back hurt every time I see her do that. I'm like, girl, there ain't no way I could do that. What's the difference between a burlesque dancer and a stripper? Oh my goodness. Bye, Jim. I'm so glad you stopped by. Good, Deb, good. So, yeah, I wanted to, I feel like there's just so many questions still on skincare and, you know, different things about what to use for exfoliators. Hey, Cindy, how are you? On whether or not we are using, you know, chemical exfoliators. Should we be using a physical exfoliator? How many times should we be using a physical exfoliator? You know, just little bitty things. That's right, Henu. We don't care how you work it, Angie. Oh my goodness, if I did that, my back would break in two. But, you know, things like that. And then things, you know, just little bitty things that just whether we need to be, you know, things that can enhance our products usage, like, you know, being sure that your face is wet whenever you use your hyaluronic acid or your hydrating products, you know, things like that. So we can get a list of things that maybe you guys want to see from this series. We can, you know, get things together as far as topics for skincare discussions, products that you would like to see. From bar soap to cleanser. Stacy says she thinks she was doing good going from bar soap to cleanser. Let me get makeup pants. Oh my goodness. So I really think that that this is a great way to kind of I need to learn a list of what skincare to do one after the other. Yes, and so I will put together a list in the description box. I'll go back and edit this live. I think it lets me do that. I'll put together what I use. What can you do to treat orange peel texture on the eyelids? Okay. And so some of these things, like Cindy, I can look up that. I can research some of that. Even if I don't know the answer for all of the questions right now, I can reach out to some of the derms that I work with because, you know, for those of you who don't know, I work in radiation therapy. And sometimes radiation damages skin because we have to go through the skin to get to where we're going. And we work really closely with dermatologists for skin issues like with breast cancer. Breast cancer is a big one where we have radiation dermatitis and things like that. So I can definitely reach out to people that I know and get some answers for different things and ask some questions on my part. And also, if you leave some questions for me that we're wanting to cover for topics, whether it is like one of the things that I want to do is I want to show some of the products that I've really been loving from the Biossance line. And, maybe some things, I want to try to find maybe some dupes for some of that. So I'm going to start kind of working on my skincare dupes like I do my makeup dupes, just with researching the ingredients and stuff. But I definitely can try and pull in, if you have questions, what you're wanting to see from some of our chats on Saturday. But I really want this to be more on the skincare side of things, because I just think that's a really big need as far as the skincare. And that's really my first passion is skincare. I've been doing skincare since I was 19. I have been so passionate about skincare, even when, times have been tough. I may not have had any makeup. There was a time when I did not have any makeup, but I've always had skincare. So that's always been my first concern has always been skincare. So definitely, I think these Saturday morning times, if you let me know what you're interested in, I'll cater to that. So yeah, I'm going to put up a little, maybe something on my community. Don't you think that would be the best way, is like put up a little questionnaire on my, maybe not a poll, but just an open-ended, leave your comments below for what you want to see on the community tab. And then on this one, I'll post the products that we've discussed today. Step-by-step skincare routine. Yes, I will post that on this video. If it doesn't let me, I will post it on my community tab, Lois. Yeah, skincare comes first. We won't talk about 19. I didn't wear much makeup, but I didn't wash it off, only in the shower. Yeah, well, you have to pick your battles, Stacy. Oh, yeah, you definitely have to pick your battles, though. I have a lot of skincare. I'm just confused as to what I use with what. Yes. So I think that as long as you kind of stay with always, go from light, like what we had talked about, from lightest to darkest, and then as far as the serums goes, and I'll try to put together I'll put together something on this video that I'll try to put something together that will make it easy, where it kind of lists what to use together and what not to use together, and then that way you can go off and copy and paste onto like your notes. I'll do something like that, and that should help. Yeah, thinnest first. Yeah, so lightest to darkest as far as coloring, and then thinnest to thickest is the way that you should be using it. The Olay site said I have 58-year-old skin and I will be 51 next Thursday. I want to look 51. Oh, my poor Cindy. Okay, so, well, I don't think that you have a 58-year-old looking skin. So, not from what I've seen you post. So, Olay's trying to sell you something, Cindy. But yeah, I will definitely print off something. And I really think that a lot of times, I don't know. I don't know what you're using. Hey, Matthew, I don't know what you're using, Bridget, but I'm really, really mostly into my Ordinary and my Good Molecules. I really, really, I just don't think that it has to be expensive. I just, there was a time, whenever I spent a ton of money on skincare back in my youth, in my 20s, because there wasn't a lot of good skincare available. There wasn't all of these individual molecules that you could mix yourself. Now, the problem comes with, do you know what molecules to put together? And I can see where the individual molecules can be overwhelming to some. But with Good Molecules and with the Ordinary, I think it can be really affordable for the serums that you need. And I just don't, if as long as you know what to get, which is, your antioxidant, your hydrator, your peptide, and your moisturizer. Those are your main daytime. And then, your retinol, your anti-aging, and still an antioxidant at night, your retinol, your moisturizer, your heavy duty, and I always go heavy at night, more heavy at night, and that's kind of the way that I think about it. So I'll write up something on this video, but yeah, when I was young, I think my mom was it olive olay that was it olive olay that was in the pink? Was it the pink olive olay? I think that was my mom's pink olive olay. That was all she used. And Jergens lotion and olive olay. So yeah. So I think this will be something good. I'll put up a community post, and then you guys let me know what subjects you're wanting to cover this week for next week. And, if it's that we want to cover just an individual small group, do we want to just cover in-depth peptides? Do we want to just cover in-depth hydrators? Do we want to just cover in-depth antioxidants? We'll do that. But whatever you guys want to cover, I'm game for it if you're game for it. And I think this will be good. So you guys just let me know on the community tab. I'll put that up by tomorrow, and you'll have all week to think about what you want to cover. Does that sound good? That sounds good to me. I want a box of skincare, and I put it in a Tupperware container in the closet. Stacey, I'm going to beat you. Okay, guys. Well, we've been on here for about an hour, so I will let everybody, hydration would be awesome to start with. Yes, okay. So I am going to let everybody go and get back to their Saturday. And I love you guys so much for being here and spending some time with me on some skincare. And I appreciate you all for stopping by. It means so much. And I have enjoyed seeing everybody. And so, yeah, so I can't wait till next week. I love you guys so much. Cindy, I'm so glad to see you. Matthew, Bridget, oh my goodness. Love you, sis. Thank you so much for stopping by. Jess, love you. I'm so glad you made it. It's okay, baby. Hi, Christine. Oh, okay. Bye, guys. Love you all. Oh, bye, Henu. Bye, guys.